Welcome back, everyone. We just saw game one of M5 BenQ versus Fnatic. Tell me about that Jace pick, Xenon.
Well, Jace worked really well for Soas yesterday to the point that they had to ban him. And remember, yesterday he played Jace against Shen as well. So I asked Soas after the game yesterday, is Jace like a specific counter pick to Shen? And he said, no, he really isn't. People just don't know how to play against Jace. That's why I can run him and that's why I can dominate with him. As it turns out, Darian knows how to play against Jace, because I have to say that top lane went in favor of M5 after all, and then they still had that really strong Shen who could teleport everywhere. And halfway through the game, I told a colleague of mine, I'm guessing they're banning Jace next game now. I'm not so sure that they shut that Jace down, and it looks like M5 have all the answers.
Well, M5 certainly snowballed that game. They got off to an early lead and they just never let it go. So tell me about those team fights. What was the situation every time Fnatic entered a team fight with them?
Well, Fnatic looked pretty good until it came to those first couple of team fights. They even did a pretty smart thing where they forced an early dragon to force a summoner teleport and a stand united, like the shoutcasters pointed out. And they took those tools away from M5 and just disengaged cleanly. So I like that. That was nice strategic play. But the second they went for the team fight again, M5 are just, I can't find any other words, they're scary. They know how to find all the openings in a team fight. When they go into a team fight, they trade off damage perfectly. They all escape with just barely any life. And they find all the kills. Kills that no other team would have even dared to go for. They're like, oh yeah, obvious. See hero, kill hero, you know? They're still doing that. That's what they became famous for at Kiev. This hunger, this thirst for kills. And they still have that. And honestly, Fnatic looked good until the first couple of team fights, and then they just crumbled, they fell apart. They had no answers, and M5 are looking scarier than ever.
Well, I asked them their predictions at the beginning of the match. Alex said 2-0. He still has a chance to be right. Fnatic said 2-1. They still have a chance to be right. So it's still anyone's game, and this is to see who's moving on for the first, second place match and the third, fourth match. So neither of these teams will be out after these games. We're going to throw it out to D-Man and Jason Kaplan in the audience to another fan.
Yes, hello, I'm back down here. I tell you what, it's getting harder every time I need to go in. This place is packed. If you didn't get a seat early on, I think you had to be here 2 hours before the matches started. So, question is, you're going to win this t-shirt. He just won this t-shirt last time. You guessed Moscow 5 correctly. It was a very good, it was a pretty educated guess, I think it's safe to say. What's your name to start with?
Sorry?
What's your name?
Kevin.
And who do you think is going to win? We just saw Moscow 5 pretty dominant. We saw a brilliant first blood by Fnatic. We got oranges coming our way from the Riot guys. Who do you think is going to win the next match?
I like Fnatic to win this game, but I think M5 will.
Okay, and Jason, who are you joined with?
And I have Mike here, and we saw an amazing game one out of both teams. Fnatic did a really good job early game, as Demon was just saying. And I kind of want to know, who do you think's going to win this game?
From the strong plays we've seen from Alex, I think Moscow 5 is going to take this one to 2-0.
Okay, and if you're right, you get this amazing shirt. And do you actually play AD carry? Or actually even AP carry?
AP carry, cast it in.
And I'm going to try dodging some more of these oranges that are coming right at us.
Without further ado, let's get game 2 underway. Let's go back over to Freak and Rivington.
All right, guys, welcome back to Gamescom Hall 8, League of Legends European Regionals, Day 3 underway for Season 2 here. These teams trying to solidify a position all the way to Los Angeles, California to represent Europe in the championship matchup.
Yeah, and right now, Moscow 5 up 1-0 in this best of 3. They are looking so very good right now. You know, you saw Xenon up there talking about some of the picks and bans there where, you know, so I was just saying, well, I don't think they know how to play against Jace. Well, turns out Darian knows how to play against Jace. And it was kind of scary. He did a lot of good things. And Alex Leage was a dominant force in that game as well. We're going to find out what Fnatic's going to do as we're now back into the picks and bans.
And we will have to see what they do. It has been a very unique tournament, as we've said before. Moscow 5 only using Lee Sin and Sona that game, as they used all different champions. Sona and Lee Sin, some few of their mainstays for Diamond Prox and Gosu Pepper. The Gragas going out, again, that jungler support. Maokai also being banned out. 2 of the bans we expected to see.
Yeah, they're repeating that Gragas ban. They do not want to give that up to Alex. And it's interesting because apparently Pekka doesn't actually want to play Gragas himself. He's banning it out, saying we want to remove that option, but we don't even want to allow it for ourselves. but Moscow 5 banning out very similar champions to before. Maokai and Nunu both getting dropped out. Now, Ghost Pepper is known for playing Nunu, but this time around they're saying, no, we're going to drop this out of the roster. We don't want to fight this right now.
Nunu out, Yorick out. They do not want to see that duplicated ultimate anywhere on the map, but it's really going to be Fnatic raid call to bring this one into their favor. They're going to have to come out with a very strong composition and actually banning out their own Ahri to possibly force, yes, that ban onto Shen. And we'll have to see what N-rated has for this first pick freak. We will have a bit of a win ratio for these champions this game. We'll let you know what the deal is, how successful they've been, and really what's coming into play. And I think we may see one of the first, if not the first, I believe we did have one yesterday, and Alistar coming into the matchup.
Yeah, so Alistar going to be out here. We've only seen him once otherwise in this tournament so far. It's going to be picked up. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a support or jungler. He can play both those roles, but right now it's looking like, I'm going to guess jungle Alistar is the more common trend, but you never quite know. And Moscow have already shaken things up a bit. The Lee Sin is there again, but Taric, first time they've run Taric so far in this tournament.
And it's interesting, this is the second time during the tournament Alistar has not been banned on a roster. Pick him up, first pick. Again, Diamond Prox feeling very comfortable on Lee Sin, did a very good job last time, and who wouldn't want to say, let's get another 32-minute two-person Baron?
Oh, sure, that Lee Sin pick was phenomenal. He was everywhere on the map. Even though he got counter-jungled, first-blooded, and stole the red buff at level 1, he's still caught up. He was still a force to be reckoned with. And Moscow 5 actually tossing around a lot of different picks here. Looks like they're going to repeat the Ezreal Sona grab.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice for them. Sona was really able to shut down the team composition with her ultimate, that crescendo, making everybody dance for a short amount of time, and then they were just able to really get in there. Stand united and the teleport in, and that crescendo was a perfect amount of time for the entire team to get there as they just continue to initiate fights, like we said, with aggression, not going in unless they knew 100% the damage was in their favor. Now we are going to see, as you said, this probably being a jungle Alistar. Played before in the tournament, it was support, and it was a loss. So we'll have to see if they can change this around and put Alistar on that 1-to-1 win.
Yeah, and I'm liking the potential Graves pickup here for Fnatic. I actually like Graves a lot versus Sona. Sona has to be actually a little bit close up in the fight in order to do anything other than heal. You know, unlike someone like Janna, who can actually kind of fight from far back, or Taric, who's naturally tanky, Sona is both frail and more of a mid-range champion. So you pick someone bursty and actually short range himself, like Graves, and you complement that with a Leona who also is going to initiate very heavily. You're going to have a lot of burst damage. You have a very high potential of dropping out those champions.
Yeah, Diamond Prox actually not getting his Lee Sin just yet, as we did see the Ezreal Sona coming in on Soaz. They are going to grab N-Rated's Leona, very big there, and like you said, Graves just being such a great composition for that bottom lane. A great pickup, and so much defense and aggression coming from this team already.
Yeah, so now you've got 3 solidified picks here for Fnatic. The jungler's in there, the entire bottom lane's in there. Actually, both these teams picked their bottom lanes wholesale immediately. And oh, Darien is so scary on Jax. If they go for this pick, it's going to be a very interesting setup here. Moscow 5 might in fact go for that 5th pick, Zilean. They do like that Zilean-Jax combination. They've run it a number of times. We'll see if they run it again. But I can't hate on them grabbing Lee Sin ever. I cannot hate on Jax Zilean. And Sona Ezreal worked last time. It seems like they're picking out the bag of tricks. You know, they got all these tricks here, and they're picking the ones that have worked before, and they're like, yep, this wins games, this wins games, this wins games.
Yep.
Let's go win.
And I really like what M5 BenQ did here. They had Lee Sin on that first pick, but they said, you know what? Lee Sin's tanky. Let's get the AD carry that's going to be safe. They picked Ezreal, and then they said, you want to dive, buddy? Here's Jax. That's going to be an incredible dive composition coming from those two. And there really is only a bit of a front line that's going to be able to displace that. Alistar can stop them, but he's going to have to be with the AD carry the whole time, and Alistar needs to be in the front.
Oh, Fnatic are running something very interesting here. So they've already locked in Rumble as a counter lane to Jax. Jax is so dominant as a duelist. If you try to fight him one-on-one with basic attacks, you're going to probably lose. Jax's #1 role is fight you, fight your face, and just kill you. And so what they've done is they picked more of a caster role here in this top lane by grabbing Rumble. I actually like the initial Kassadin grab there. Ooh, a possible Zyra also very good, but they have to realize they're expecting Zilean about 50% expecting Zilean. They could run something else, of course, but it's actually pretty likely here, which is why they initially grabbed Kassadin, saying, well, Kassadin's a very good lane against Zilean. Zyra might be fighting up against Karthus here. Karthus, a very big farmer. By looking at that right now, Moscow 5 is saying our end game,
yeah,
really, really, really good.
It is going to be a huge end game. This fight composition, however, is so in your face from Fnatic Raid Call. If they can get their initiation down from the beginning, and that somewhat applies to every fight, you're just going to see so much more damage. They have a lot of crowd control, where we see Moscow 5 not really having that. If Jax can get in and get a really nice stun, that's going to be about all they have. To Leona, to Zyra's ultimate, the Stranglethorn, a huge area of effect pop-up as well, is a shredding amount of damage to the entire team standing in it. Then Rumble to lay down the equalizer. There is just a lot of crowd control and a lot of we're going to stick to you in this fight.
Oh man, yeah, Fnatic's combination is just giant area of effect, Diana Fire. And it works because Solar Flare and Rumble's ultimate are fire-based. So
yeah.
and in fact, if Pekka picks Wildfire Zyra, I mean, my pun was it's not really a pun. Whatever.
Double punny.
I was
triple punny.
Anyways, a lot of fire-based damage coming out here from Fnatic. I don't know why I'm making this point right now. But basically, Fnatic is so area of effect based. They've got a lot of layered stuns, layered slows, and so much damage output. They could blow up everyone from Moscow 5 at once, and that's not a bad way to go about it. There's no dedicated tank here on M5. Jax is a little bit tanky. Lee Sin's a little bit tanky. Karthus going to be in the front, but they're not that durable, so we'll see if it's going to work out. Rachel has more from us up on the stage.
Gentlemen, if you want to see M5 BenQ take this game, let me hear you. And if you're looking forward to a Game 3, give it up for Fnatic. Riv, Freak, you got this.
Jump into the matchup, we do see both of these mids, as we said before, unique champion picks. We have not seen Zyra or Karthus this tournament, so we're going to have to see how they play this out. Both very strong AP carry mids, that ability power. You really look for that AoE, that area of effect splash damage from that mid lane, and both of these can do it in big fashion. It looks like we have a little bit of aggression. Fnatic did this on the bottom side, so Deja Vu just flipped.
Oh yeah, and the level 1 is even stronger right now. And you're seeing where these champions are standing. Again, the fog of war, Diamond does not know what's happening. Now Pekka's in range, he goes for the root, but Diamond was watching. He learned from last time, and a nice play there. He put out the resonating strike there. Lee Sin's abilities when they hit an enemy will actually reveal them for a few seconds, so he could watch as Fnatic dove into that brush, said, yes, there are 5 of them coming after me. Okay, I'll back off.
So now this is something Fnatic Raid Call has to take into consideration, but it's not happening. Moscow 5 BenQ saw us in that bush. Are they trying to counter us now? Or are we going to be safe to go through our own jungle? And you can see him still moving. Power in numbers here. They are definitely using the buddy system. Harpoons to check the bush. You do not want to get double lifted at all.
Oh,
and we are going to see what they can do for the first part of this match.
Yeah, well, a couple of early wards going down there. They ward off the side to see if Lee Sin's going to go for any early invasions. Diamond going to be there with some help from Alex Leage to start off on his Wraith camp. And you're going to see him go for an early lizard grab as well, most likely. Cyanide with help from Pekka also picking up his golem, or wolves.
Yeah, so to counter that bottom golem take, they are going to be grabbing wolves. Diamond Proc's more than happy to let that happen. That bottom lane has been very strong for Moscow 5 BenQ. They were able to thwart a first blood Lamia last game. Can they do it once again? We've kind of switched up the champions here.
Yeah, well, let's see. Diamond going to grab his golem buff early on. Actually decided to stay away from the lizard. As again, last time, it was warded and he got first blooded. So Diamond learning from last game, saying, you might try something cheeky at my lizard buff. I'm going to go for the golem start. And it actually lost him some time because he killed the Gamp that was right by the lizard. And so Fnatic playing some mind games, not even warding it. They're like, yeah, you're good. Right, well, you can do whatever. And so Diamond with a slightly inefficient jungle path because of what Fnatic did game 1. I really like how that plays out.
And look how cautious Alex Ish is playing in middle. He's almost under his turret and the farm is in the mid. That is exactly how you have to play against an Alistar jungle.
Oh yeah, and it's Alistar's Zyra as well. Both of them can lock you up for quite some time. And the good thing here for Alex is Karthus is so long range, and all he needs to do is get that last hit on the minions. You can see he's got 11 of the 12 minion kills actually under his belt, despite playing so safely. But Diamond coming in from behind Soaz is not going to like this very much. Let's see if he can make it away. Diamond is right there. He's going to land it. The slow is on. He's going to land the resonating strike as well. Soaz still trying to run away. Actually, no. He's going to make it just fine.
Wow.
And Diamond actually is very, very low right now.
I did not expect him to make it out of that. I figured the resonating strike was just going to be, or the sonic wave rather, was just going to be able to hit, connect, and end that one. But a beautiful flash keeps him alive. And Diamond Proc's forced to go back here. He's not going to be able to get back into his jungle and steal some experience. Maybe he will. That safeguard keeps him alive long enough for golems.
Yeah, he's going to go for it right now. Oh, and with the safeguard plus smite, that's a really good combo right there. Turns on the secondary ability, Iron Will, giving him extra spell vamp. Spell vamp does work with smite, healing you for percentage of the damage you deal with an ability. And Cyanide now his turn for a gank. Darien playing very cautiously, knows to be afraid, but doesn't know Alistar is off in the side.
Tucked.
Oh, a nice headbutt. There's the pulverize. The Counter-Strike dodge is on. Darien gets that stun as well, and he's going to make it out.
We also saw Genja going very low there as N-Rated hit a beautiful Zenith Blade down bottom. You can see him forced to chug those potions. Going in once again, just walking right by. Goes to Pepper. They hit him. They get the stun down. Can they finish it off for the first blood? He gets the summoner heal down. The Ignite is off. Chasing in the power chord. First blood goes to Gosu Pepper. And they may be able to finish off Lamia as well. The Arcane Shift not up just yet. He has got a few seconds on it, and he will not be able to capitalize. Lamia forced to stay in lane. 175 HP and no mana. Soaz possibly going down as well. Beautiful job by Moscow 5. BenQ picking up their kills and Fnatic to return one.
Oh man, what a great overall play here from Moscow 5. They're making everything happen right now. And it's interesting because their bottom lanes are running different summoners from normal. Both their carries are running, they're running summoner heal, and it's actually these supports running Ignite to deal more damage. And so they're just trying to keep their range carries alive. So we're going to see just what happened at this top lane. Soaz fighting off against Darien. You can see at the top, that's right as Sona got that first blood kill. Soaz goes in for the aggression, but Darien's like, no, I want to stun because Diamond is right down here. And the chase is on. Soaz does not really have a good way of making it out at this point. He deals as much damage as possible in the brush to Darien, but it's not going to be enough. Diamond making that one happen.
You do see top lane still being aggressive. Soaz just comes back to lane, and so does Diamond. He said, you just came out of Death Chamber, buddy. Let's put you back in there. Going up to Soaz. They are going to be able to catch him here. That Scrap Shield giving a little bit of speed. He is over that 50% heat gauge, so he is going to be doing a bit more damage, but it's not going to be enough. The Scrap Shield goes on. One more attack, but they are not able to finalize the kill. Soaz, being very mechanically sound in his escapes right now, goes down, however, by Requiem.
Oh man, and that Karthus pick, it seems like Moscow 5 still omnipresent.
Yes.
You know, no summoner teleport, no Shen, no problem. I'll have to have a global ultimate from Karthus, and I'll pick up some kills just like that. So 3-2 now the score for his Pekka putting his team on the board early on as Zyra, but otherwise a very dominant performance from Moscow 5, all really in every lane at this point.
Moscow 5 coming out a little bit stronger than last time. Cyanide saying, I like to pound the ground, just going to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I know he was trying to get the cancel there on the recalls, but it's not quite in range for it.
So we do see them going back down bottom again. Lamia and N-Rated rather, trying to grab some golems. Coming back to lane as Sona is in that forward brush, but I do not believe they have a ward. Beautiful zoning here. They are both full health, and they're not able to get to their minion wave. Not that they have to. It's pushing quite hard right now. They got a double wave coming into this turret. So we'll see how Lamia can last hit this one. He is going to buckshot out and possibly lose a few on that one. Great harass by Genja to stay in his face.
Oh, and Pekka taking so much damage to his mid lane. Diamond diving in so very hard. Wait, am I behind or am I... Okay, yeah, no, I'm fine. Sorry, I just... derping a little bit. Anyway, Pekka making it out.
Soaz up top, again, full health as he gets himself back to lane. He has been forced out quite a bit. And Darien, you can see at level 5-4 just how much his damage is scaling over Soaz. That one hit took about a few bars off of his HP. That's going to be 100 health per bar you see in their health. And you're going to see the Ignite go down here. He could go for the turret. Scrap Shield goes on to negate the Ignite damage, and that will really throw off what you're trying to do. A beautiful headbutt pulverized combination coming in. He jumps to try to capitalize on the kill before going down. Trample not doing damage anymore from Alistar passive. They will be able to get the last hit down on though. And he goes for the stun. No, he makes it out. The headbutt will be the kill. No, it will not. The pulverized flash, and he finally is able to get it. One after the other, it just was not killing Darien. Finally going down, they're able to capitalize, closing the kill gap by 1, and Dragon goes to Diamond Prox.
Nice job there. Nearly gets it by himself. A little bit of assist from Karthus, but ultimately still, Moscow 5 so far up now in gold, about 1,500. Some very, very good openings in this game. Diamond now running around behind Fnatic's jungle. He's going to steal away one of the golems if it were up, but of course that camp is down, but still he's looking to loop in behind that Tri-Brush. Lamia so low on health. Ghost Pepper is level 6. The Ezreal ultimate hits. Lamia is going to have to run away from this one. Requiem is not quite up, otherwise he might have gone for it.
Oh man, Alistar coming in as they actually leave that lane. And we are going to see they're kind of just milling about here. Definitely a stalemate on that one as they saw Cyanide come in. They said, yeah, we probably don't want to dive that between Leona and Alistar. There's enough crowd control to take both of us down.
Yes, Lamia's going to get back to base right before Requiem comes up. He's going to be safe and heal himself back. 10,000 gold to 12,000 gold. Moscow 5 still building a lead right here by 1 kill. Seeing Pekka deal a bit of damage in this mid lane, trying to stabilize this game and get himself back up. But Alex Ish so large in minion kills. He's up by 20 right now on X-Pekka. He's going for some early cooldown reduction with that Fiendish Codex. I've not really seen that before. That's a bit of a different build.
And we did see Diamond Prox grabbing that dragon. That is the earliest one so far of this tournament. And we did see that gold crude there. Alex Ish at 3,000 gold. The closest behind him was 2,600. So he is making moves for himself. Now 3,300. His closest is on his team at 2,883. So definitely, as you said, Freak, holding that advantage true. Moscow 5 BenQ continues to dominate this game.
Yep, and they're going to keep growing and growing. That Golem buff already grabbed from Karthus. Though Zyra now, I expect, are going to grab her own. We're going to see what happens here. Cyanide sneaking in to this top lane as well. Wants to get another kill here for Soaz. If they can snowball this top lane and Rumble gets scary, he can keep bullying out Jax. Because Jax, if he gets ahead, will constantly control that lane. And actually, it's going to be a counter gank. Soaz taking a lot of damage, but here comes Alistar. Can he do enough? The Requiem comes out, dealing a lot of pain as well. Diamond will fall. Soaz will not be able to escape, but Cyanide might have a decent chance here against Darien. And I gotta say, Soaz missed a little bit of that ultimate, unfortunately. He actually aimed it very, very far down the lane, and everyone from Moscow 5 ran past it, ran out of that flaming zone, and survived a lot longer in that battle.
Xpeke coming up top to try and get that kill, and as we saw, Cyanide actually figured he could have fought that. He had minions with him, and Jax was low on mana. He might have been able to get that second kill onto Jax, but both walked out of it. Xpeke trying to come up, and again, we are going to see Alex Ish having a free farm in middle. This is not what you can leave him to do. He's not even worried about leaving his lane, and that is the advantage of Karthus, the omnipresence of Requiem being that global ultimate.
Yeah, it's finished the way you're going to play Karthus is you're going to rely on gaining gold in your early game. That is your #1 goal, because as Karthus, you are the hardest scaling mage in the game. Your role is to get to late game, get a ton of gold, get a ton of items, get to level 18, and just start blowing people up. All you're really trying to do is deal as much damage as possible. And thankfully you have a global ranged ultimate. When you hit Requiem, every enemy champion on the map is going to take damage, and you can do that from the safety of your own lane, where you are gaining some more gold. And they are going to keep doing that. Alex is going to get so scary in this game as he keeps farming, and here comes some aggression. Out of this bottom lane, Cyanide is around, flashes have been forced, but they're going to initiate anyway, and Ghost Pepper, so much burst damage, but N-Rated going to get fired back on, and Ghost Pepper's going to actually make it out. And now Lamia, a little bit undermanned here. Soaz actually whipping the equalizer on Rumble, is not going to equalize in that fight whatsoever. Diamond's going to make it out against Soaz. They ward that brush so intelligently. Genji going to take some damage, but ultimately a free kill here for Moscow 5, and a slightly misplayed engage by Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic came in very strong there, using all the ultimate grades, collateral damage, solar flare, and we do see him coming down once again. The aggression coming in from Fnatic. They said the first time didn't work. second time's a charm for them, and they are able to pick up the kill on Diamond Prox.
And that is really, really good. Pekka already had his own golem buff, so no refresh there, because of course Diamond has been donating them away. But Pekka getting himself another kill, 2-0. He's getting quite a bit farmed as a result of this. It's going to be a nice place for him to be. 103 minions, definitely the top score on his team. 2 champion kills as well. Going for an early Chalice of Harmony, he might be following Alex's build, where he went for the fast Athene's Unholy Grail. And actually, as I think about it, I think it's partially for the cooldown reduction. Is that Karthus Ultimate Requiem has a very long cooldown, so the early Fiendish Codex, following that up with Athene's, getting a lot of cooldown reduction allows him to assist in fights a lot more often.
You know, it's really going to help him too with the resistance from that item. Keeps him tanky as well. We did see him go for that Rod of Ages build last time on Rise to keep himself tanky, trying to do that with a little bit of defense mitigation through armor and magic resistance. More magic resistance right now, though. Not going to need armor till late game if he even gets into an item of such. The Zonias, and we will see red buff being donated over here at 13 minutes, 30 seconds, 5-4 in favor of Moscow 5 BenQ right now, but the gold is exactly in 2,000 difference. Still in favor of Moscow 5, and we saw this happen to Fnatic last time. They only had the lead for the beginning. This time, they didn't even get that, so they're going to definitely have to claw back on this. They are only slightly on their heels, and with Diamond Prox getting that first dragon as early as it was, they're going to have the timing for this second one in about 5 seconds.
Yep, and they're just camping around in this brush. They have nice ward control, although they actually don't see that sight ward right there that Fnatic has. So both teams actually can see each other right now. There's wards in enough places that there is full vision. The wall comes out from Karthus. They get the root onto him, but they will not initiate off of that just yet. A few wards are dropped down. Darian is available here on Jax. All 5 members from both 5 teams. This is going to be a game-changing fight. We're going to see who can start this one out. It's going to be Moscow 5 aggroing on the Dragon. Pekka misses the root. He's going to need to summon some plants pretty soon. Dragon now down to half health. Soaz joining up with his team. Will they get the pain out there? A lot of bursts coming off. Diamond still on the Dragon right now. Smite goes off and Rumble steals it. And now they're going to go for the damage off, but N-Rated will fall down. But first, Ezreal drops. 2 kills so far for Fnatic. Alex he's taken a lot. He drops as well. A double kill now for Graves. Requiem goes off. Yes, that's going to be 1 kill. The shutdown here on Zyra, but Soaz still chasing down Darian. Lands a bit. A nice stun. He flashes it. He's not going to go down. Lamia picks up the ace, and that's going to be a 5-for-2 Fnatic back in the lead.
An absolutely amazing matchup. Seeing the Stranglethorn miss kind of made you hold your breath. Expeke didn't hit it perfectly, but N-Rated put himself in the middle of 3 members of Moscow 5 BenQ and threw Solar Flare down on top of himself into Cyanide Headbutt Pulverize, and there was just too much damage coming from collateral damage, and we're going to see what really happened in that fight.
And here we go, as the Dragon gets very, very low. The ultimate comes off, a lot of damage being dealt, and there's the initiation in from Leona. So much damage all at once. They comboed Rumble and Leona together, Soaz finally hitting that perfect ultimate that stole the Dragon. Alex was not able to really participate in the fight because his team was initiated on far away from him. He was not able to run up in time. He was pushed away by Alistair, and Darian is left to his own devices, could not turn any kills around.
And here we see them returning to their jungle, returning to sucking up their buffs, getting all that experience, gaining what they can. That, as you said, that game-changing fight. They were down by a little bit. Now, the first time they've been able to pull it back in their favor, they're the ones with the 2,000 gold lead and the 2-kill lead. They also have 2 turrets in their favor. This is something we saw Moscow 5 having a little bit of trouble with early in the first game. However, their strategy was not to push those turrets. It was to just get those team fights, win the lanes, and cause Fnatic Raid Call to push into the lanes they wanted. Moscow 5 now, after that fight, may have to change up their strategy to really get their footing back.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see. I feel like what Moscow 5 did in the first game with those, those turrets going down for no real big deal, is it allowed them to have battles in a really good spot. Oh my gosh, burst damage. Simon's not going to like that one. Pekka is going to pick up that kill. Phenomenal job there. And now they're going to keep grouping up in mid. We'll see if they're going to push out their 3rd turret.
Almost catching him in the stun there. They are way behind this turret right now. They're trying to go in. Cyanide getting a little aggressive, and this team tells him to back up. He says, yeah, I got you. And we're going to have to see what they can do as this mid lane pushes. They're looking to take down that last 2nd tier turret, or 3rd tier turret, I should say, that outside middle. Expect now double buff on him. More than happy to be wearing that, as he's going to be able to just continuously spam Alex Leage in lane.
Yep, and he's going to keep farming. And Karthus, like in Nivea last game, is very good at clearing minions out. So Moscow 5 does have really good potential to just stop pushes right now. You know, the last couple turret kills, a lot of them were grabbed kind of, you know, just in the 1v1 lane. The top turret was the first one to fall. They cleaned up the bottom turret after, I believe, that dragon fight. But now the mid turret with Moscow 5 back up, they're able to defend it quite easily. So Soaz here, he knows he's a bit farmed. He's actually going to wait at that top lane brush for Darien to show up. No teammates nearby, otherwise that would have been a really nice gank attempt. But instead, Cyanide with that Oracle is going to sit in mid. And what I really like about Cyanide is he got 3 early kills in this match. Oh my gosh, that burst damage is so good, just dropping Alex to 2/3. But with the early kills that Cyanide got, he rushed Boots Mobility, then was able to easily grab 2 gold generation items, almost has a Glacial Shroud, and an Oracle's Elixir. Cyanide, very, very rich, 5,000 gold. He's actually ahead of Soaz, their top laner in money, because of those early kills and that early gold generation.
And you know, to actually look at this, Moscow 5 has been dominating throughout most of their games, but this is the first time any team has been higher. Oh, he steals the blue buff with Buckshot. And that is just going to strengthen what I'm about to say, is that Fnatic Raid Call is the first team to be up in gold on Moscow 5 at 15 minutes into the game.
And this actually might be the first series we're actually going to see go to that 2-1 score, because right now Fnatic are in the driver's seat. I don't want to call it early. We saw so many comebacks through the quarterfinals on Thursday and on Friday. But Fnatic, they are definitely a top caliber team. They are looking to solidify this advantage. They're up 3,000 gold. They're going for their 4th throw, but Moscow 5 has something to say about this. They're going to initiate in. Diamond's going to go for a lot of damage, but he gets headbutted back in. A beautiful crescendo from Sona. Cyanide very, very low. The Equalizer doing some damage, but not maybe enough. Darien picks up 1. They're going to trade back a double kill here on Soaz as he backs out. Alex getting low, but he will fall. Ghost Pepper might drop as well. That's 4 kills, and now it's just Genja alive. But only Cyanide has fallen. A 4-for-1 right now, and Fnatic, they might have to put the pause button. They're really low on health, but that was an amazing fight by them.
Yeah, it was a great job. I really think when Diamond Prox flashed out of that and the Zenith Blade missed into the crescendo, they pretty much had it made, but they just weren't able to do enough damage. There is so much crowd control that comes from Fnatic Raid Call, and you can just see how much more uncontrolled Moscow 5 Ben Q's initiations are. You can see they're not as sure. They're edgy, they're hesitating, and it's really costing them a lot of their champions in this fight. And as Ezreal was the last one alive there, completely out of mana, we could just see Lamia. He also had no mana or health, strengthen and go into him.
All right, but we're going to see just what happened in that last fight. As the initiation goes off, Diamond push back, but a beautiful flash keeps him alive. The crescendo is there, but the area of effect knockup, the equalizer, Diamond not able to jump in for quite some time. And when he did jump in, he was already at 1/3 health. And just the amount of front-loaded damage here from Fnatic is massive. That's really what it comes down to, is that when champions come in, they just blow up so quickly.
We see another team fight coming out here as they're just above that dragon area. Beautiful job as they take down Alex Leage once again. The Requiem is not up, so they're more than happy to just run through him again onto Diamond Prox. Fnatic Raid Call is on the move right now, and they seem to have quite a power play behind them. They will be able to pick up Dragon as well, and they are just taking a huge lead here, Freak.
Oh, that Dragon is going to really cement their advantage just a bit more here. 33,500 to 27,000, so now a 6,000 gold lead. Over 20% ahead of Moscow 5, and they've played so aggressively recently that M5 have not had the chance to catch their breath. And we saw the early game from game 1, Fnatic came out ahead. They did a really good job. They got a couple of early kills, but then they stopped getting kills for a while. It was 2-1, but then it became 6-2, and it got farther and farther behind, and they stopped really pressing it. They got turrets, that was great, but they stopped getting the kills. They stopped really pressuring in honestly a meaningful way against Moscow 5. This time, the heat is up, and they are pushing in. They are fighting constantly, and they're continually killing members of Moscow 5. And that's allowing them to really keep pushing this advantage, to keep that advantage growing, and to keep control over the map.
You know, usually we see Diamond Procs in lane doing gangs. Right now we're watching these guys take their red buffs, farm wolves and whatnot. They seem to be very much so on their heels. They do not want to initiate anything. Right now, M5 BenQ's fight is going to have to come from a mistake from Fnatic Raid Call, but that does not look very likely with the way they've been playing this second matchup. I really believe that surrender came through. They said, guys, this is not how we play. We can really bring this one back. Our mentality is now in the second game. Let's just forget about this first one, and it seems like it really worked out for him so far.
Yeah, but the one thing to remember is Moscow 5's lineup is geared toward the late game.
Yes.
Now Fnatic, their composition is amazing for team fights. It's a lot of area of effect, it's a lot of stuns, it's a lot of damage. They're honestly really good in the mid game because they have so much burst, so much magic damage, and everything can get locked up. So their ability to have these just bursty team fights is great. But what Moscow 5 has is late game. They have Jax. They have Ezreal, who, if he can hit his Arcane Shift, is going to really, really shut down Graves' damage output. They've got Karthus. They've got a lot of great late game. And so it's always possible for Moscow 5 to hold this one up and make it happen in the end. But Fnatic, they don't want to let it get there. They're pushing in right now. They saw Jax the top lane. They said 5v4. Those sound like our kind of odds. This turret at the inhibitor already down to half health.
Looks like they are trying to push and knock on this front door of Moscow 5 BenQ. Getting that wall of pain out. That is going to shred magic resistance. You can see it also slowing Xpeke. And every time he gets hit with one of those dots, that lay waste from Karthus, it is going to do double damage if he is by himself and it's not hitting any other opposing minions. Or I guess his minions. So he'd be on his team. A very nice Heba Pulverize pushes Sona just over the wall, however. They are going to initiate. This is what Moscow 5 BenQ was looking for, trying to get themselves back into the fight. But the CC once again crushing down onto Karthus. Darian looking to fall soon, and he will be taken out by Zyra. Double kill for Xpeke. They now turn their focus on to Gosu Pepper. Gosu Pepper and Genja now forced to be focused out of the fight. But here we have Fnatic Raid Call, low health after that one. Yeah, they came out on top, but they're not able to push anything from it. They're more than happy to get the gold. But if M5 can continue to do this, like you said, Freak, they will be able to bring it to late game.
Yeah, but what they're doing is ultimately, they're trading down in kills, but at the same time, just like I said in game one, because Fnatic is up so high in kills, when they pick off one member from that team, they're getting a very large surplus of income. They just killed a 5-0 Graves. That's more than the standard 300 gold you're going to tend to get. And the same thing happens for Moscow 5, of course. Their champions have died a lot in a row, and if they're not picking up assists in those fights, that means they're worth less than that 300 gold. And so, you know, you can see the gold total up at the top of the screen. That's really the big dictator here of who's winning, and it's still an 8,000 gold difference, but you can see that shrink very rapidly if Moscow 5 can just get one or two fights the way they want them to go.
25 minutes of the game, we see map domination by Fnatic Raid Call. Look at the wards on the bottom side of the map, also towards Wraiths as they come up towards the Baron. And I believe they have one ward that is being taken out by Cyanide right now inside the Baron den, so we will have movement coming from Moscow 5 here. As they start to move towards Baron, it looks like Fnatic wants to shut them off. They're going to try to get this choke point down. Will they decide to stun out? Oh, the stun misses, but they're able to get so much burst damage. Does not look like Diamond Procs can stay alive from that one, and we're going to see Cyanide picking himself up a kill. 3 assists on the back end, and Ezreal will poke them as they try to get towards that Baron, trying to give harass. He knows he's not killing anybody, but he's saying, we're on your heels, we're here for Baron. Baron's going to start doing damage, and we're going to utilize that to our advantage. A 5 on Baron right now with 3 members of Moscow 5 very close, a 4th just on the edge of them. Baron is dropping very fast, Freak. This could be a turning point, but I don't think we're going to see any steal. True Shot Barrage not doing too much damage yet, but it is enough to force them off of Baron.
Yeah, they all got so very low. Moscow 5 can do a lot of damage all at once. They have great burst, they have great crowd control. And when Fnatic's at half health, it's not the kind of fight you want to tank because you just might go down. That Zyra played by Xpeke was already so very low, forced to recall, get his health back up. I think they're happy with the one kill they got. They killed off Diamond, but as I just said, he was actually only worth 170 gold that time. He has just died a lot of times in a row, and now Soaz, not in a great place right now, trying to escape from Darian and Alex, but I don't know if he can quite do it. Graves is going to show up. Can he do enough damage? There's the head up with the flash, going to keep him alive, and now Diamond has shown up. and they're going to get 1 kill, and it looks like it's going to be a kill for free. Soaz goes down, and that's the kind of thing that Moscow 5 wants. These unanswered kills to pull them back into this game.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about before. They're able to get those and get the big sum of money, that surplus you were talking about, to really get those items built. So take a look at that, 270 creeps on Alex East right now. His closest contender is 204.
And yeah, he is just farmed, 9,000 gold. But Fnatic, they've got 4 turrets. They're winning in Dragons, and they're winning in champion kills. So you're seeing 10,000 gold be the numbers there for the members of, the highest farm members of Fnatic.
It's Becca and Lamia, just so much money under their belt, and you can see that finished Infinity Edge to Ezreal's Triforce. A huge burst in output of damage that Graves is going to be able to come out on top on if he does have somebody in front of him to block that meat wall of Rumble, of Leona, of Alistar, and then the CC of Zyra if anything really does go wrong. Ezreal, however, with the mobility, also with Jax, they're able to get in with that fast burst composition with the proc that the Triforce will do, giving you extra damage. So they're trying to utilize quick front-end burst damage themselves, but they're not going to be able to sustain it in the fight. That's when they look to Alex East. That's when they look to Diamond Procs to get themselves in the fight and continuously beat down on the enemy.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix of damage sources, really, because, as you just said, yeah, they have that cool front-end burst damage with Jax jumping in with a Trinity Force, with Ezreal with his Area of Effect ultimate, the 1.5 second lockdown from Sona. They can do a whole lot in the first 2 to 3 seconds. And then it shifts over. And oh my gosh, Soaz. Wait, not Soaz, sorry. Xpeke taking a lot of burst damage, but he gets out right there. And Moscow 5 now in the driver's seat. Ezreal looking for a chance to land a slow on Cyanide. He will not quite land it there. But Moscow 5, though, they have a really good chance of pushing down this turret. They've got really good presence right now, and they have really good positioning.
Yeah, with Stranglethorn down, this is exactly what Moscow 5 wants. You're seeing a completely different team right now in those few seconds of knowing that huge AoE stun ultimate, that area of effect knockup is gone. They're more than happy to be right under this turret almost. The minions are right there with them. They're able to get a good amount of damage down. Essex Flux just missing. And it looks like they will be pushed off. However, good clearing by good wave clearing by Fnatic Raid Call is able to keep them off the turret. Fnatic was very aggressive right there, but M5 was very aggressive, but Fnatic did not make any more mistakes. They knew that M5 wanted to capitalize.
Yeah, and the ability to poke there was so very strong. Alex Ish by himself landed a wall of pain, which slowed down that Alistar played by Cyanide, and he landed lay waste, got the tank down to 1/3 health in like 3 spells. If you can kill a tank in like 5 shots, that's when you know you've got a lot of damage, and that's when you know your tank needs to be a little bit more afraid. Cyanide finishes Frozen Heart, and that's great. He's going to be very, very tanky against Jax. He's going to be tanky against Diamond Procs' Lee Sin. He's going to be tanky against the Ezreal played by Genja. But he's not tanky against Alex Ish on Karthus, and Karthus deals damage in an area. He doesn't have to just focus on you. He can kill Cyanide without really even trying. That's a very scary place to be.
It looks like a very interesting build. Not so much interesting, but great build by Zyra, coming out with the Fiendish Codex, the Ryla's Crystal Scepter, as well as that Deathfire Grasp, giving more front-end burst damage to the team as well. These guys have a huge ability to wave push. They are going down to the inhibitor turret now. All the pings are coming in. They say, we have a ward right here. We need that Oracles, and they are able to take it out. Wards going out all over. If we've seen in these tournaments, it's almost a fight of wards. They're going to be throwing them down during the fight, after the fight, to make sure the escape and the entries are all clean. As they just shut down the minion waves coming out here, Freak. It's really anybody looking for that first mistake.
Oh, absolutely. Cyanide back up at full health, joining his team up in the front. The burst damage is here from Fnatic as well, as Xpeke does have that Deathfire Grasp. 8-1 on that scoreboard right now. And Fnatic are looking like they want to push right now, which is not a bad idea at all, but I'm surprised at their choice of location. This middle turret is pretty defensible. You know, Moscow 5 is able to sit in their base. They've got a steady stream of minions. They've got, you know, the fountain not far away. Oh, but they land the stun onto Ghosty Pepper. So much burst comes out. That Sona now down to 1/4 health, only costing Graves' ultimate. The rest of that is still up. Fnatic actually could have blown every spell they had and bursted out Sona. I'm not sure it would have been worth it, but they would have gotten the kill.
You see Lamia taking a few turret shots there. Wall of Pain goes down, but it's not going to be too much of an initiation. You see him spinning around here. They're just trying to get that mistake down. The ward is out. They are going to get vision off that Sonic Wave. Both of these teams just throwing out the poke right now. Alex Leage does not want to get in front. They are more than happy to take him down. He is trying to stay in the back. Just utilize that wall of pain. Slow somebody down. They're going to look for the Jax and Lee Sin. Dive buddy jump in. That is going to be the initiation on the fight. Huge minion wave top, and that is going to be the focus of Fnatic right now as they try to take down this turret. More gold in their favor, increasing that lead. It's going to be about 7,000 gold right now. 20-10 as we reach your 33-minute mark in a completely different game from Fnatic Raid Call.
And a bit of initiation there on the diamond, but here comes M5 from the side. A beautiful stun locks out Zyra. And now can they do enough damage? Alex Leage goes down, but that might be okay. Fnatic now has to clean this up in a 4 versus 4. Requiem goes out, N-rated running away. Cyanide trying to escape as well, but he's taking a lot of damage though. Sona will pick up that kill and drop his oracles. And that was a 2-for-1 for Moscow 5. Pekka got completely caught out there. That crescendo from Ghosty Pepper made that fight what it was. But Fnatic are ready to find Diamond. Diamond's gonna have to run away from this one. He will bait that properly. Kenja putting out some damage as well. N-rated, taking a bit of pain. M5 actually might want to push in on this one because Genja is going to be really, really fearsome.
Here we are there. They're true. They are going in. Genja was going very strong. He has the Guardian Angel, so he can be a lot more dangerous with that. He doesn't have to worry as much. He is going to come back up, and by the time he does, his team will be right there to help him. They are going to try to challenge this one. A buckshot goes out. They're kind of trading back and forth. Nice double harpoon. Trying to get the flame spitter on. There is the Jax jump in. Lee Sin cannot help. There's the safeguard. They have used both of their jumps, and the reinitiation comes out. Can Lamia get the last shot down? Turning to Darien. The Guardian Angel down. The second one goes down onto Ezreal. Will they be able to shut him down? No more mana as the blue buff tries to tick back for Lamia. Soaz almost able to shut down onto Genja, but he shifts over the wall as they finally finish off Darien. They do know he's there, and they will start to focus. The equalizer in the fog of war to take down Genja. A very nice job by Soaz. He's been missing a few, but he definitely made that one count.
Yeah, he's turned it on. It's like he learned how to play Ezreal, or not Ezreal, but Rumble mid-game. He suddenly started dominating, and Fnatic are going to get that uncontested Baron. Poor N-rated is dead and not getting the buff for himself. But honestly, when you're in stakes this high, you're not going to stop on Baron and be like, we'll wait for you to respawn. You're actually going to take that one over and try to take out this game. Cyanide has the Oracle's Elixir. He's happy to rebuy that, help his team survive, clear these wards out, and keep Moscow 5 in the dark. Fnatic are now back in on this. Lamia, the MVP of that fight, a fully stacked Bloodthirster. Let him tank a late game Jax. And if you ever fought a late game Jax, that's not easy. Late game Jax does a lot of damage. And Lamia was like, nope, Bloodthirster, man mode, let's do this. And now he's got a Guardian Angel. I don't even think it matters if they one-shot Zyra, because Lamia is now the most fearsome champion on this map.
Picking up that red buff is going to be very helpful for himself. We do have an Oracle's in that bush. He's going to go ahead and clear that ward. He's just walking around a few times.
Oh my gosh, Ezreal stole that.
No way.
Genja got it.
Barrage all the way across the map. Very nice job. Genja stealing that up, doing big things for his team right now, and that's really what they need is these impact plays. They got to get everything they can at every second. Anything missed will cost them the game. Right now, it's not looking good for them, but they are holding quite strong, and Moscow 5 is not a team to just give up like that. We are going to see them take down this turret as they micro the damage back and forth from the shots. The more the turret hits you, the more it's going to ramp up in damage, so you cannot be the sole taker of that damage in the beginning. Unless you're tanky enough as a Rumble, as an Alistar. Going in, Strangle Thornton down. Collateral damage, almost wiping out Gosu Pepper, but Lamia will finish with a double kill. Could he go for some more? Rumble will pick up the third kill as well, and it is going to be a kill coming out from Moscow 5 BenQ's Alex Leage with the Requiem.
And that's still, though, a 4 versus 2 now. Fnatic, they've got 35 seconds to push into this base. This turret's going to take a lot of damage. Cyanide is going to walk forward and say, bring it, Ezreal, because he knows that he will make him die if he stays around. His inhibitor looks like the next target. They've got a few minions left. Jax is back. Fnatic may want to back off. They might go for this turret here. That's going to be the case. Pekka taking a bit of damage. Zyra getting really low. I don't know if he wants to really be taking the turret that long. Pekka's going to be forced out. Sona's going to be back alive. And Fnatic are going to be safe with just the one pickup on the inhibitor, the 2 extra turrets. Going to clear out a couple of wraiths here, but they're going to move back, and they're going to regroup for another attempt later. So now we're going to see what's up. 37 minutes and 15 seconds. Almost double the kills here. Fnatic 27 to 14. They're up almost 13,000 gold as well. Lamia going to clear up this top wave. Still so scary on Graves. 9 kills, 12 assists, and only 1 death. He is just fearsome right now. N-Rated coming up to the mid lane in time to stop Darien from picking down this turret. And N-Rated, for the really one of the first times this game, allowed to farm by himself. That's so nice. And by the way, guys, the only teams to have ever taken him out from Moscow 5 have been Counterlogic Gaming and Team Solomid. Counterlogic Gaming EU, of course. So Fnatic, right now looking like, and we can't guarantee the game is going to end this way, but looking like they might be the 3rd team ever in history to even take a game from Moscow 5.
We'll have to see if they can do that. Moscow 5 definitely on their heels for this situation in the map. Zyra throwing down Thorns to give a little bit of harassment. They're looking for their 2nd inhibitor of the match here. And we'll see what they can do. Siege minion getting dropped. A little bit of focus needs to be put onto those Siege minions. They take a little bit longer. No abilities used there. However, Cyanide taking quite a bit of damage, being slowed by slowed by something. Phase proc most likely. And we will see them trying to get out. Jax jumps in, but he's not at least in there to help him. There's the safeguard. They're going to try to mitigate a little bit of damage. Trying to move towards that top lane. They know they have big minion waves here, Freak. They know they can try to take down these turrets. There we go. Lamia in the front with a Guardian Angel, and we see a few on each team right now. The turret's only down to about 75%. No initiation there. Just back and forth.
They found Alex.
Thorn.
I almost picked that one up. That was a nice little bit of burst there against Alex Ish, doing some good damage. But now again, the Wall of Pain forcing them back. The initiation is on. Pekka taking a lot of damage. His ultimate is down anyway. N-Rated jumps in as well. A beautiful crescendo. They're going to jump in onto Darien. Pekka taking more damage. Diamond very, very low. There's the kill picked up. Requiem coming out. Gosu Pepper low. Will they get the burst damage? No, he makes it out as well. Right now, only X-Pekka has fallen. Everyone else from Moscow 5, no, Diamond has fallen. Now Darien in the front. He's going to drop as well. And that's going to make it a 2 kill for 1. Turret's actually falling thanks to minion spam. And now Fnatic are up to this top inhibitor, and they're going to actually bypass that and go for the Nexus turret. It's a 4 versus 3 now in the heart of Moscow 5's base. Can they hold on? Alex Ish is alive. Genja is healing back up. Cyanide making the way in for this Nexus right now, but they're going to go for the counterattack. Cyanide taking some damage. Lamia has been exhausted as well. Alex Ish might go down, but first it's going to be N-Rated. One more shot to go. The Nexus falls, and Fnatic brings it to 1-1 in the semifinal.
An amazing matchup in which Fnatic completely turned it around within 1 fight of the game.
1 fight away, and that last fight as well was neck and neck. It seemed like the mid game was easier for them than the end game, but by the end, they pulled it out. 16,000 gold ahead. You can see the smile on Cyanide's face. And of course, the lovely Riot Games referee saying, would you like to sign this document saying you won this game?
Yeah, possibly.
Sure,
that sounds
okay.
like a great idea.
Wow, Fnatic now, honestly, joining the history books as and this just speaks to how good Moscow 5 is.
Yeah.
We're celebrating the fact that they won a game against them because no one else does it. So good, both these teams. This European regional. Now both these teams 1 game away, still 1 game away from cementing themselves in Season 3 and cementing themselves in the Season 2 World Championship.
Yeah, an amazing matchup, and really what it came down to, obviously play mechanics, but that team composition was so amazing. So much crowd control, so much knock-up, headbutt pulverize, Leona Solar Flare, Stranglethorn, just one after the other, and not once were they used on top of each other. They were always used one after the other to get the maximum extent of what you could get out of them. So beautiful play by Fnatic there as they came into that game, especially down from a game where you're surrendering. That surrender's on your mind. You know people are thinking, you know, Fnatic just surrendered there. That's not the team we usually like to see. That's going through their head as well. The intensity in this room right now, thousands of people watching. Thousands of people watching online, and thanks to everybody watching at home right now, tuning in, checking out these matches, and watching your favorite teams try to vie for those top 3 spots for the championships in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and right now, though, they just got to prepare for Game 3, and we're going to have that Game 3 in just a minute. Got a quick commercial break, but do not go anywhere. This is the most important game that any of these players have played yet in their lives, and you don't want to miss it.